Hey there, everyone. Can you believe it? It is Monday again. And, well, I say Monday again. Of course, last week we did it on Tuesday, but no one's counting. It is lovely to see all of you here. And what a busy day we are having already for comments. We have got Snahal. Thank you so much for joining us. James Beard. He likes to be called Jim Beard. I feel like that means that he's got a higher salary. We've got Jorge and Natalie. And we've got Sandy. And we've got Kurt. We've got Richie. Gosh, there are so many of you coming in and joining us. Thank you so much for being part of our Monday family. As you know, we come together every Monday to tell you all of the good stuff, all of the exciting things that are happening right here at NECA, and of course, all across the industry. And this show is all about you. So I think without further ado, we should get started. Hi there, everyone, and welcome to NECA Live. This is our weekly show where you can check out every Monday live right here on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, or Thursdays as part of the NECA Podcast Network. It has been a crazy, exciting few weeks here at NECA, with NECA now only a couple of weeks ago a smash hit, and we have plenty still to look forward to in 2021. For instance, the NECA Safety Professionals Conference is coming up. It is just around the corner on May 25 and 26. Protect your people, your business, your stakeholders by attending that event. But we will have much more to come on that in the weeks ahead. Today, though, our focus goes to the field and NECA's incredible field service team. This group is on the front line of what NECA does every day, working with members and chapters, as well as NECA's colleagues with the wonderful IBEW. It's been a little bit since we've been able to shine a light on this hard-working team. So today I am really buzzing to be able to welcome Kevin Tighe, NECA's Vice President of Labour Relations and Field Service, and Ian Andrews, Field Representative in the Midwestern Region. Happy Monday to both of you. Kevin, how was your weekend?
Wonderful, David. It was beautiful weather, so it was working out in the garden, getting it ready for the new season.
Working in the garden, Kevin, that doesn't sound like a weekend to me. It sounds like you're just 7 days of hard work and commitment.
That's it. That's what we are.
How about you, Ian? How did you fill your Saturday and Sunday?
Well, I didn't work in the garden, but it was a great weekend outdoors. And if I was any better, I'd be David Meade today. So ready for a new week and ready to roll.
Super. Well, look, I am ready as well. Kevin, let's start off with you. I mentioned before how the Field Service Group is on the front lines of NECA's most important work every single day. And obviously, that has meant a huge amount of adapting, flexibility, and agility over the course of the last 13 months. How has your team evolved to handle the challenges of the pandemic, Kevin?
Well, there's no doubt, David. First of all, thank you for the welcome. We appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, both myself and Ian, and representing the whole field staff team. And when we speak, we do represent everybody, and we're quite proud to be that representative for the field staff team. But when the pandemic hit, labor relations didn't stop. Our industry fought tooth and nail to maintain ourselves as essential. And when we were successful with that declaration brought with it so many challenges that we never even contemplated. We developed an agreement, the National Disease Emergency Response Agreement, that we thought, well, we took a couple days to put it together, but we thought it was going to be over in a few weeks. And what happened is we ended up shutting jobs down and with lightning speed, and then only to be followed by ramping those jobs back up, but with a completely different set of job site rules and regulations that we had to go by. And our field staff was able to maintain and grow and work with the other groups in our national office. We continue to promote the harmonious labor relations, working hand in hand with the IBW, our partners, to help and continue to overcome our barriers to growth. So while a number of areas suffered a slight decline in the hours, in work hours, many areas have recovered from that and grown farther. So we're not only out of a hole in many areas, we're facing a a growing shortage of manpower, work is becoming that plentiful and that good.
You know, it's one of the things that David Long mentioned again and again at NECA now, that of course we've been through some challenges in the last 12 months, but it means that the future, the demand for the work that we're doing, it feels like there has never been more optimism and more enthusiasm. And I suppose, Kevin, even in the best of times, what happens in one state or region is completely different to the happenings, the challenges and opportunities that are happening elsewhere inside the country. I guess even within one region, a representative might deal with different sets of rules and regulations, particularly over the past year. How do you guys balance all of these different priorities?
Well, the good news is our field staff is comprised of some of the most professional individuals in the country across many industries. We are well stacked with some high intellect, high quality, highly motivated field staff members. They familiarize themselves with the specific rules and regulations that they'll encounter in their local areas. They work together with their fellow field reps in their region and amongst the regions. They have intimate knowledge of the agreements in their areas, and they rely on a very good field staff team here in DC for assistance and help as they go through their daily routines.
And I think it's that assistance and help, isn't it? It goes to the heart of how connected NECA is. It really is one family. And I know one of the things that makes NECA NECA is the strong relationship with IBEW. You both share many common goals. You work closely together. It feels like two families, of course. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of your joint efforts?
Well, we do. I mean, labor relations is considered one of the most important membership values in NECA. And that comes down to the relationship with the IBEW. We are striving, and this started well before the pandemic, to improve our relationships on our peer-to-peer level with the IBEW. And that starts with David Long and Larry Beltramo, with Kenny Cooper and Lonnie Stevenson. And that carries down to myself, to the regional directors working with the IO VPs, and to the field staff working with their the IBEW field, their reps. We are really striving to develop those relationships, because at the end of the day, our relationships will only help the chapters and help them build their relationships with their business managers. That's really where the labor relations is being done in our industry. So everything we're doing up in the higher levels is only going to help and support what's being done at the chapter level. And those are our customers, and that's who we're striving to provide and help and cajole and give good direction to.
And that chapter level is really the lifeblood, isn't it, Kevin?
It is the lifeblood, because that's where things are happening. A couple of quick items we work on at our level, helping develop market share. We work workforce development and manpower recruitment needs. CIR is a critical component to our industry that we work hand in hand with the IBEW. We jointly trustee benefit funds from NEBF and FMCP. The NLMCC is a jointly trusteed fund that we use to help promote industry efforts and advancement. We're both trustees on the Electrical Training Alliance. That's a joint effort of providing trained and manpower for our industry. And again, everyday labor relations is a joint effort. We really strive to take the word labor negotiations, change it to the phrase labor relations. Labor relations does not just happen when you sit at a table to try and adjudicate a grievance. Labor relations happens every day in all your conversations, working with your partner across the table, so that when those uncomfortable conversations have to take place, you've established a powerful working relationship.
And I think our ability to have uncomfortable conversations really is the measure of that relationship. And Ian, I know that while many involved with NECA are really familiar with field representatives, they may not know many of the details of what you and your colleagues in your group do on a day-to-day basis. Can you give us a little bit of a whistle-stop tour? Tell us about the electrifying day in the life of a Midwestern field representative.
Well, if you're like me, you wake up and then go to bed every day wishing there was about 10 extra hours in the day. But in all seriousness, I feel really fortunate to do what I do. I love this role. I've got 6 incredible chapters that I work with that have embraced me since day one. I've got a tremendous field staff here in the region, a tremendous regional director with Steve Krieg. Our labor relations department with Kevin and Ryan Courtney are just ultimate support. A typical day-to-day, you're the liaison between the chapter and national. I want to be the ultimate support extension, whatever they need, whatever that needs to look like. It could vary day-to-day. I'm here to do it. Right now, that's extremely negotiations heavy, connecting with anywhere from 4 to 6 of my chapters, usually multiple times a day, discuss negotiations, brainstorm strategy, a lot of tracking down information across the region. We're looking for constant data, constant information. We want to empower chapters to make the best decisions for themselves and for their membership. Anything we can do to help with that. Constant communication, as Kevin said, with the IBEW international reps, the ones I work with, we work together very well. Labor relations are very positive. We communicate often, communicate thoroughly. If there's an issue, by the time we're communicating, we already have a good idea, a good rapport, a good feel of what needs to happen next. Connecting to the fellow field reps, working on education and seminars. We host a bargaining class. We've held 12 of those this spring. Just revitalized the voice data video national agreement that was renegotiated, updated that program. Trying to find ways to provide value from the field to the chapters and the members for any type of educational opportunity they need that we can provide for the tools to utilize. And then really it's keeping in touch with Steve Krieg, having him know what's going on across the region. We've got a standing call every week with Kevin and David Long, keeping them apprised what's going on here. Outside of labor relations, working on a peer group project. We're trying to revitalize that for NECA and have a sustainable long-term peer group plan across the country. And a typical day wouldn't be complete without what I would call a torpedo, something that was just completely out of left field, atypical, that it's an immediate fire and you've got to just go put it out.
Hold on a second, Ian. If you don't mind, I'm going to need an energy drink, a protein bar, a Red Bull. How on earth do you manage to squeeze all of this work in? I mean, it's obvious that you're passionate about it. It's obvious that the chapters mean a lot to you. And of course, as part of that, the members are really central. How do you manage your time?
If you could figure that out for me, that'd be great. I don't know if I have a good answer. You just get it done. That's the beauty of the field. You just go get it done. And we've got a tremendous team across the country that all have that same mentality. When and where, we'll go get it.
I love
And
that. That is
David,
a bumper sticker
everything-
waiting to happen. Yeah, go ahead.
Everything Ian's talking about is done every day by all of our field reps. And that torpedo can come at 6 in the morning, at noon, at 5 at night, at 9 at night. And they do. They come at all those hours. And all of our reps are doing that kind of effort every day, working with their chapters. That is not abnormal. That is not because of the pandemic. That is every day that they're doing this.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Look, it is no wonder that your members are so committed to all of you. And Ian, I've got to ask, have you seen the chapters and contractors in your region? How have you seen their approach change in the past year? Has your approach changed to help collaborate and get to know them better, to get closer to them? Has that helped them in these weird and uncertain times?
Yeah, on the chapter side, I've really seen it become communication focused, right? When the pandemic hit, the social aspect all but evaporated, but the chapters didn't skip a beat in providing NECA members value. Labor relations became so critical, providing communication timely, accurate, getting answers for questions that arose, especially with all the law changes that were temporary and now permanent in some aspects. Just getting that information to the members so they could focus on their business. And that was one less thing they had to worry about. It was just a beautiful thing to watch come together. On my approach, I would say communications as well. In a typical year, 2019, spent somewhere between 150 to 180 days on the road at meetings. And in turn, your availability kind of changes, right? So only about 500 phone calls, give or take, with chapters, with members. Whereas last year, the travel dried up. It was only 50 days on the road doing things, but we had almost, 70 meetings I got on virtually and over 1,000 phone calls. The communication just got so much more frequent and deeper, and I feel like we just communicated better. So we might not be as close personally and live, but I think we're working together now better than we ever have, and that'll just be accelerated once we're back in person when this ends.
I mean this in the best possible way, and I hope you take this as a compliment, but every time you speak, I feel like I need a nap, Ian. I need a gentle lie down. I need someone to mop my brow and bring me some oatmeal, warm milk cookies and just lull me off to sleep. But I suppose, speaking of this busyness, one of the big themes at NECA now was talking about, of course, the only word that people are using today is infrastructure, infrastructure, infrastructure. And as we look ahead, it looks like the pipelines could be overwhelmingly full with work. So NECA contractors, it looks like, are going to have a busy few years. What will the role of the field service team be to support this new normal alongside what looks like could be a crazy surge in demand?
Yeah, I think we have to listen to our members, and we need to listen to our chapters and help them bridge the gap. There's two critical areas I see. The first is going to be the worker recruitment and educating everybody involved that, we're at a point where we have forfeit the right to catch feelings on how we're getting electricians. We just need them any way we can get them on a job site. And then the second part is going to be encouraging and, incentivizing innovation. If you can be anything, be efficient. So we need to find ways to increase technology, increase production, whatever we need to do to fill that gap with more than just electricians, which is going to be the major shortage, right? So we have to listen, we have to facilitate that education, and we got to find solutions on the local and national level.
Kevin, ultimately, it's the field team who will support our members through the surge, isn't that right?
That's right. Absolutely right. And I brought this up in our last conversation, David, and I'm bringing it up again to you today. And I'll see if you have a good memory or not. I asked you last time we talked if you had any idea the number of years of experience that our field staff has. And do you recall that answer?
Oh, this is a good question, Kevin. All right. I have two guesses. Was it under 200?
Oh, not even close.
Then it was over 500. Isn't that right?
It's over 600 years of experience that our field staff has in our industry. That is invaluable. And I can tell you that we have gotten tremendous feedback from the chapters during the course of this pandemic from the efforts by the field staff and support from the national staff. So what we're doing, we're on the right path. We will always strive to do better and improve our services, but we've got a tremendous team. We are facing tremendous challenges right now in the industry, as Ian hit on, with innovation, with prefab and manufacturing, and then, of course, with manpower issues. So those are right in front of us. We are working on those as we speak. We have many folks working on that issue. We had a call this morning. We're talking about developing manpower development and recruitment plans to go around the country. So we are hard at work at doing it. We're addressing the problems. But by all means, we will never, I promise you, we'll never lose our focus that the chapter is our customer and we are here to serve them and the members.
And you know what? We are getting great feedback as we look at the chat. Tons of people are coming in. Alexander is saying hello. Kelly Lamp. Kelly, good to see you. It's great to have you, Kelly. But Luke Cool is coming in and saying the St. Paul chapter and all of our contractors are so thankful for Ian and all of Kevin and the field team's work. Guys, you really are making a difference.
We're trying. I promise you, we won't quit trying either. We'll continue to try to improve every day also.
Super. And we have another one. Ann Larson. You've got a fan in the house, Ian. Ann Larson is saying Ian is the best, I think, in a kind of a passive-aggressive way. She's saying, Ian, you're better than Kevin. Kevin, how do you feel? Do you want to smack down Ian?
Well, I think Ian's paid some people prior to this episode to get on the chat room.
Do you know, as I look at his eyes...
Ian does a tremendous job out there, and that is truth is right there in the chats. His chapters certainly do appreciate everything he's done for them. So my goal is to support Ian and the other 20 folks out in the field every day. Anything we can do to help them serve their chapters is what we do here.
So, Ian, what would you say to a NECA member who maybe hasn't engaged directly with the field team and they're not really sure what the benefit might be?
I'd say get in touch with your chapter and then let's connect through that. we are nothing without the support of our chapters, and that's what I think makes us so great in that relationship. So if we can connect in any way, shape, or form, and I want to hear your stories. Let's talk. What's going on in your life? What's your company? What are your challenges? How can we be part of, improving the value you get from NECA and the value your chapter can bring? Let's have those conversations.
Well, I have loved having you both. Kevin, thank you so much. Ian, always great to see both of you. I hope you have a good Monday. And look, by the way, it's kind of early now, isn't it? So I'm happy to sign off. I want both of you to take the rest of the day off. Ian, you need a nap, for goodness sake. Get to bed immediately. Let me know and I'll send some Uber Eats around. You can chill for the rest. Kevin, I'm sure, is happy to sign off on that.
Absolutely. Anything I can do to help our field staff.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Kevin
David.
and Ian, it's wonderful to spend some time with you. And of course, a big thank you to all of our audience for taking the time to join in with us here at NECA Live. Now, before we go, a reminder that NECA now is on demand. So if you weren't able to attend live, the content is there at a discounted rate right now. And while you can't take part in any of the sessions live, you can engage with every single one of those amazing keynotes, those education sessions for an incredible deal. Go now to access conversations with Marcus Lemonis talking about your industry, with Mike Rowe giving you tips and tools to help you overcome any challenge. It is 2 days of education and entertainment and so much more. If you miss out, I promise you, you are missing something big. So thank you again for joining us. This has been NECA Live.
Welcome to NECA Now 2021.
Tell me, how would you sum up NECA Now 2021?
I thought NECA Now was incredibly beneficial and thought-provoking.
This is the time to write a new chapter in your story.
There's so many sessions and different aspects of a virtual experience to get the most out of.
The goal is purpose. We can wait for profit to come later.
You want to get the back of the left wrist down towards the target as you're coming through.
There's hundreds of decisions that go into the winemaking process.
How would you rate the quality of the education, the learning that you've been exposed to as part of all of the sessions?
There's been a lot of good information. The speakers, they're very knowledgeable.
The best way that you mitigate risk, you eliminate it, is by expanding your number of options.
It's a really, really good way to learn from leading experts.
Internet businesses aren't the only businesses. We all have internet businesses.
Our job sites became some of the safest places to be.
Now on a personal level, I think all work is essential.
So many people are really skeptical about virtual events, not sure if they'll be useful for them. What would you say to someone who's considering attending but not sure if it's a good fit for them?
It's exciting to just stay involved and stay motivated and help bring awareness to our organization as well.
Thank you.